The Redmi Note 4 has been one of Xiaomi's most successful phones in India, meaning a lot of people own it. Now that Xiaomi has launched the Redmi Note 5, here's the big question: should you upgrade? Well, let's find out. Let's take a close look at both these phones in today's video. But before we get to it, if this is your first time here or in case you just can't remember, my name's Ash, you're watching C4E Tech. If you've not checked it out yet, here's the card to our latest giveaway. You can also find a link to it in the description below. And while you're down there, don't forget to turn on notifications. Let's now get started. Starting with the build, both phones are made out of metal, but the Note 5, as expected, has a few new changes. Before we talk about that, let's talk about what pros the Note 4 has over the Note 5, and believe me, it still does have a few. For starters, it's shorter, meaning reaching the top of the screen is easier, it's lighter, and it has capacitive keys. The Note 5 on the other hand feels heftier, it's about 15 grams heavier but feels solid in hand. Right from the 18:9 display to the curved corners to the 2.5D glass on top, Xiaomi's improved a lot. The back looks identical but the sides kinda curve better, meaning the edges that you hold are thinner. In fact, the Note 5 is actually slimmer by 0.4 millimeters. It also happens to be narrower. That and the sleekness ensure that it feels easier to hold. So with regards to build, while there are no drastic changes, Xiaomi has fine-tuned a few things and have nailed what they've done. The next major difference, well, I just mentioned it a little bit back, the display. 18:9 is all the rage these days and the Redmi Note 5 uses just that display. So the resolution is a tad higher, 2160 by 1080 instead of 1920 by 1080. But given that the display size has also been increased to 6 inches now from 5.5 inches, the pixel density and hence the sharpness remain the same. The Note 5's panel is a bit more color accurate and brighter too. Not by a lot, so if you're really looking to compare, then the major difference here is just that extra screen real estate that you get with the Redmi Note 5. Now let's look past the cosmetics and look underneath the hood. And here's where things more or less remain the same. Both phones use the same Snapdragon 625 chip, they have 3 and 4 gig RAM options to go along with 32 and 64 gigs of storage. Well, a few tweaks here and there might make minor differences. For the most part, they perform on par, nothing to separate them. The battery life too is more or less similar. The Redmi Note 5 gains the extra display area but loses out on 100 mAh battery capacity. It's a 6-inch 4000 mAh versus a 5.5-inch 4100 mAh. In theory, the Note 5 should have worse battery life, but in reality, it is not as good as the Note 4, but it gets very close, a difference of about 5 to 10% at best, negligible given how high the battery capacities are on both phones. As far as software goes, both are running on MIUI 9, the Redmi Note 4 on top of Android 7.0 Nougat, the Redmi Note 5 on top of Android 7.1 Nougat. But again, there's not a lot of difference. You're basically getting a similar experience here. Right from day-to-day tasks to intense tasks like gaming, there's not a lot between them. To know more about MIUI 9, here's a card. We keep finding ways to plug that into our videos. Anyway, where there is some difference between them is with regards to the cameras. Well, the Note 5 sports a 12 megapixel f2.2 rear camera compared to the 13 megapixel f2.0 shooter on its predecessor. On paper it does sound like a downgrade, but in reality it is not. Under good light, well, there's not a lot of difference with regards to sharpness and background blur. There is a huge difference with regards to color reproduction and dynamic range. The HDR processing has gotten so much better with the Note 5. Look at this difference here. Like in this image, see how much brighter the trees are. Now under low light, the Note 5 again has an edge. The images are a tad sharper and have significantly lower noise levels. Let me zoom in to show you the difference. Now as far as videos go, the Note 5 has support for 4K video, something the Redmi Note 4 lacks. Given the similar internals, there is no reason why the Note 4 shouldn't have 4K video. But for the fact that Xiaomi has decided to not implement it, the hardware does support it, so it's a super weird decision from Xiaomi. Anyway, the clip shot with the Note 5 is a lot sharper and has slightly better dynamic range too. The colors again are a little better. Both phones have 5 megapixel f2.0 front-facing shooters. The selfies shot with the Note 5 are a bit sharper and have better skin tones. It's also worth mentioning that the Note 5 has a selfie flash and it gets the job done even in super dark scenes like this. Now with that, it's conclusion time. The Redmi Note 5 is definitely the better pick here. We didn't have questions on if it was to begin with, right? It is 5 versus 4. It's 5S bigger than 4. It's the newer phone, so it should be a good upgrade. Well, it is the better phone, but it's not a great upgrade. Well, the Note 5 is definitely a good buy if you're looking to buy a phone in this segment today, but Redmi Note 4 users can still hold their heads high. They shouldn't really be unhappy. The change here is evolutionary at best, nowhere close to being revolutionary. The Note 4 still remains an amazing phone today, so there is a reason why it is Xiaomi's most successful phone in India, right? So there you have it. Redmi Note 5, buy it if you're looking for a phone in this segment. Do not upgrade to it from the Redmi Note 4 because the Redmi Note 4 is still awesome. So do you agree with my conclusion here? Do you have a different point of view? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So anyway guys, that's it for this quick little comparison. Vote it up, vote it down, depending on what you want to do. Subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't done it yet, and share this video with anyone you know who has a Redmi Note 4 or is looking to buy a Redmi Note 5. So thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.